Hello everyone, I'm AHMAD SAIFULNIZAM, number matric U2011465, and today I will present to you how to making and understanding salt crystals. Next, we move to the introduction and objective part, where our objective is to learn how to grow salt crystal at home ourselves and understand their structure. But what are crystal salts? Firstly, salt crystals are geometric structure formed by the orderly arrangement of sodium ion and chloride ions. They naturally form cubic shapes due to their crystalline structures. In order to making the salt crystal, first we need to prepare the materials, where firstly we use water heater, and next we have salt, which is only we use seawater salt to obtain the NaCl salt. Next we also have beaker, baking scale, and lastly petri dish. Okay, let's move to the procedure in how to making the salt crystal at home, where firstly we need to heat the water because we need to provide the energy to break the molecules of salt. For the second part, we need to gradually add salt to hot water. Note that adding too much at once can result in undissolved salt and impurities, and besides, we use non-iodized salt for purer crystals, which iodine additive can affect crystal clarity. For the next part, we can stir thoroughly until the salt dissolves completely. If all the salt does not dissolve, it's not a super saturated solution yet. Continue adding and stirring small amounts of salt. A super saturated solution is achieved when no more salt dissolves and excess settles at the bottoms of the beaker. For the fourth procedure, we need to carefully pour the solution into a petri dish or a clear container. Avoid pouring undissolved salt to maintain clarity in the solution. The size of the container can also affect the rate of evaporation and crystal size. Here are the example of my crystal which formed after a week, and for we can see there's two batch, where the first batch is look all square, where the second batch there's one which got stuck with each other, but when we zoom in, they look like a square shape or cubic shape with straight edges and flat surface. These blocks are formed because particles in salt arrange themselves in a repeating pattern, making these shapes. Next, let's talk about the crystal structure of NaCl, where first we can talk about the crystal lattice. Salt crystal forms a repeating geometric crystal lattice and composed of cubic unit cells. And note that the NaCl is a FCC structure with face center cubic, where the sodium ions is at the edge center and body center, and chloride ions at the corner and face center, which you can see clearly in the diagram. Let's move on to the unit cells details, where we note that the crystal has coordination number of 6, which each ion is surrounded by 6 oppositely charged ions. And for the ion contributions, we note that at the corners shared by 8 unit cells, contributing 1/8 per unit cells. At the edges, shared by 4 unit cells, contributing 1/4 per unit cells, and lastly the faces shared by 2 unit cells, contributing over half per unit cells. Lastly, let's talk about how actually crystal form. First is through the dissolution of salts, where the water molecules break ionic bond through hydrations. Next, we have the sodium ions is surrounded by water's negative oxygen atoms, and chloride ions is also surrounded by water's positive hydrogen atoms. Next is through evaporation. As water evaporates, sodium and chloride ions recombine, which systematic recombinations forms a crystal lattice. Next is also lastly our crystal growth, where ions arrange into the most stable configuration into a cubic structure. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you very much.